Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the free to play. Today's the 30th of December, last day of December, so tomorrow's going to be November 1. Welcome in. Hope you had a good day. We had I don't know. So, raining here in the Midwest today. And so I made the call that my kids weren't going to go trick-or-treating. And so, order pizza. A little bit of confusion between me and my wife on getting that set up, but not a big deal. And she decides at some point that she's going to take the girl trick-or-treating. So I'm like, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm sitting there with my son, and we happen to turn on Mickey's Christmas Carol. And I'm sitting there watching the first couple minutes. I'm like, looking at Scrooge, and I'm like, thinking, is it just me, or is this like every single company in this country? That's what I'm thinking. Because, Amazon laid off how many people? They totally shut down New World because they laid off all these people. And it's like, it's Amazon, right? I'm just trying to figure this out. And I'm looking at Scrooge, and I'm like, this is every company in the world now. Scrooge is basically, it's a movie, and yeah, it's based upon a book written by Charles Dickens, and it's been Disneyfied, but it's a movie based upon a literary work. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, is this a movie that people watch and they think about, or is it just a movie that they just laugh at and that never affects them? And I'm like, and it just bothered the crap out of me, because I'm just like, what in the world? Why? I'm just lost. I'm like, do people realize what this movie is? It's a story about them. It's a story about them, and I'm just like, how do they not see it? Because it's like, to me, it's like, it's as plain as day. And it just, like I said, it just bothered the crap out of me. But, those are the type of things that hit me, and I'm just, because I don't live in that world, and I'm just like, because we have this thing that might happen in a couple of days that might affect some people, and if you're and you of course know if it actually took place. And I mentioned, when I was doing the recap of our foster kids a couple of days ago, I mentioned that the third child, our first daughter that we had, and her mom reached out to my wife, and she's like, "Hey, I'm worried about this thing. We get almost $1,000 a month for food, and my kids eat every bit of that." And me and my wife are like, we don't spend that much money on groceries a month. But she's like, hey, I'm worried that we won't have food. And so my wife decided that, hey, she's going to go ahead and get some groceries for her. We'll help you out. We'll let you have some food. We'll help out because that's who we are as people. And it might not come off that way because I'm just a guy playing Star Wars poorly, and you're watching me on auto play whatever because I'm going to talk to you. But I mentioned we're foster parents. That takes a lot of selflessness, whether you realize it or not. There's a lot of stuff we do that is very selfless. And we're trying to, and right now, it just feels like we're getting our butt kicked by our children because they are so self-driven. And we're trying to drill it through their heads that life is not about them. Looking back on my life, that's one of my things that my dad told me a lot when I was young, is that life does not revolve around me. The world does not revolve around me. And, back then I was like, whatever, dude. But it's true. It's true. The world does not revolve around me. And we're trying to make sure our kids realize that. And it's hard. It's hard. We thought we were doing good. Like I said, my wife took the girl for trick or treat a little bit. Came back. She immediately started flying off the handle. My wife told her to pick up and move her shoes. She threw a spoon at my wife. And just did all this stuff. And it's like, and it didn't have to happen. It's just she did it. And because she made a poor choice, she got a consequence. And I will tell you that if you're somebody that needs notoriety, if you're somebody that thrives off of, hey, I did something good, look at me, then being the people that we are is not for you. Because it's the same old trope. Hey, you're weak. What do you mean you helped this person? They don't deserve your help. And I'll be honest, that's what rolled through my mind. Because we've had issues with this person in the past, and we've just ignored it and continued to push on and just be like, it's okay, because it is. And quite frankly, when I think about that, I get frustrated because a lot of folks that claim to be like us, that's all they do. Is they just claim. I mean, and it's agonizing because my flesh wants to reject, wants to run, it wants to be done, it wants comfort, it wants convenience, it wants control, it wants safety, it wants things that look good. And when you live like this and when you're intentional about it, I'm going to tell you none of that exists. Comfort, very little. Convenience, not really. Control, not a whole lot. Safety, maybe. Does it look good? Depends on who you ask. And fundamentally, I believe that's the thing that holds people back from being who they were born to be is they need convenience. They need comfort. They need control. They need safety. They need it to look a certain way. And if you're living right, if you're doing stuff that you've been called to do, all of that stuff, it's cute to want it, but the reality is it comes and it goes. It may be there one day, and the next day you may be desperate for it, and it's not anywhere around. And that's something that scares a lot of people. And quite frankly, I don't like it. But here's the thing. It's not about me. Scrooge in that movie, The Christmas Carol, in the beginning of that movie, everything was about him. He's like, Bob Cratchit, why are you using coal? Didn't you use a piece of coal last week or whenever? And then Bob asked for the day off, and Scrooge's like, I'm not going to pay you for it. Be here all the earlier the next day, because I pay you 2 whole shekels and a halfpenny or whatever it was. And Bob's last raise was 3 years ago, and that's only because he agreed to do Uncle Scrooge's laundry. So this is what we're up against as people that do what me and my wife do, and this is who we're up against. The society at large. We're up against people who they just need more money. I don't understand it, because it's November. You might be one of those people that you need Halloween, and then you need Thanksgiving, and it's not until Thanksgiving that you start celebrating Christmas. Let me tell you, Christmas is like less than 8 weeks away. It's the holiday season. Watch TV. I guarantee you're going to see a Walmart commercial. I guarantee you're going to see some commercial that has snow, and they're talking about toys and all that stuff. That's Christmas. I don't understand. Anyway, we got stuff. I'm going to do Conquest. Hope you got something out of this. If you did, let me know. I'd love to talk to you more about it. But as always, hold the line. Remember that I have friends everywhere. Bye.